Hey Health Seekers, it's Kate Shemirani here, natural nurse in a toxic world. And I want to talk to you today about parental consent for vaccinations. Now, first of all, we all have our children and we believe that those children are ours to guide them and to consent for things for them, etc. But that actually isn't true. You have parental responsibility till they're 18, but your child can consent for themselves under the Gillick competency. And that Gillick competency was originally involved in a contraceptive case. It's got nothing to do with vaccinations at all. I bet they use it for that. Now, interesting about the Gillick competency is you can say that you don't want your child to have a vaccine, and your child can go and say, well, actually, I'd quite like to have it. And if they're deemed competent, they can have it against your parental consent. Now, you would think that competency, because they're competent, would work the other way. It doesn't. If you say to your child that you want them to have a vaccine and your child doesn't want to have it, the doctor can overrule that and make the child have it. So clearly they're only Gillick competent if it favours the agenda. So let me tell you, there's a website, how to get vaccinated without your parents' consent. So let me read you a little bit of this. How to get vaccinated without your parents' consent in secret, you can do it. So that's the first thing they tell you. You can do it in secret and not tell your parents. So this is actually telling your children to not tell their parents things. So if you remember, they're now putting on all these police websites that, you know, talking about, I don't know, anything chemtrails, vaccinations, not agreeing with the narrative, the pandemic. Then it's extreme views and it's radicalization. And now they've tagged in the word grooming. Now, grooming is always makes you think about grooming for sexual exploitation of children. Well, let me tell you what I think about that. When you find a website that's telling kids to do something in secret and not tell their parents, that is grooming. Exactly. So they're telling you to do it in secret. Try and ask your parents and convince them, or get a doctor or nurse to convince them that vaccines are safe. Well, there's the biggest lie straight away, because no vaccine on the market has ever been proven to be safe, and no vaccine on the market has ever been proven to be effective. So try to get a doctor or nurse to convince them that vaccines are safe. Well, if you're a doctor or a nurse given a vaccine, do you know all the ingredients? Do you know what they do to the body? All of them. Are you telling the patient that? All about how it can cause sudden death. Guillain-Barré syndrome in the flu vaccine can cause autoimmune diseases, cancer. Are you telling them any of that? Because it's in the insert. So how can you be saying it's safe? The next one. Petition a court. I almost can't say this. Petition a court for emancipation if your parents are really bad. Emancipation, divorcing your parents. They're telling you on this page to divorce your parents to get a vaccine. Wait until you're 18. Obviously, by then you can make your own choices. Read all the information and get another adult to come with you to go somewhere else to have it. Ask your parents for your vaccination card to see what you've actually had. And just in case they take it away from you, take a photograph of it. They're actually telling you to do this. Do you see they're getting you or your child to go behind your back? So utter disrespectful. Breaking down that family unit of respect, parental authority over the child. Without that, it all goes awry. Talk to your doctor about anti-vaxxers. Anti-vaxxers. Talk to your doctor about people who know what vaccines are made of, know all about the clinical trials, know all about the adjuvants, know about the placebos when there aren't actually placebos, like the HPV vaccine that wasn't a real placebo. What about the new vaccine that's coming out? And it's done in with meningitis as a placebo. So they're telling you to talk about anti-vaxxers. And then it says, when you go to different clinics till you find one that will do it. Go to different clinics and take an adult with you sometimes. It says eventually, you know, you'll get a different clinic that will do it. And then afterwards, it says, buy yourself a treat. Do something nice for yourself. Really? Tells you that don't worry about the side effects. They're mild. Well, I know for a fact that when you open up the insert of many, many vaccines, one of the side effects is sudden death. sudden death, collapse, fitting. So now you've got a child who's not told their parents, doing it in quiet. The parents don't know what to look for. That child maybe goes off, locks himself in their bedroom, doesn't want to tell the parents, doesn't want to get into trouble. They collapse. Who's to know? Or they go somewhere else. No one knows they've had a vaccine. They've not told their parents. Do you see how vulnerable that makes these kids with this absolute garbage website? Now, if that's not grooming and coercion, and I mean, what are the laws? This goes against everything. Surely that has got to go against child protection. One of the things you're taught in child protection is kids are abused. They're told not to tell their parents and to be secretive. Oh my word. And don't forget, Gillick competency test. You read that. They can go back quite a few years. And if you look at the HPV vaccine, the most dangerous vaccine ever developed, they give them a little leaflet to read and they make it all jolly. And nobody tells those kids about what that vaccine has done and what it can do. And it's horrific. I read the book HPV on Trial. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has done some brilliant videos on it. I might put a link to one here. So no one's going to be knowing that your child's had it. And they're saying it's safe. Folks, now's the time. You look at what's happening. Tyranny is afoot. And they're telling your children not to listen to their parents. This is a complete breakdown of the family unit. If you can't see this, that's right in front of you, I don't know what to say anymore. But kids, if any kids are watching this, please, 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 no parent knowingly harms their child. And those little leaflets, like for that HPV vaccine, they don't tell you what that vaccine does. And I know for a fact that all those nurses aren't telling the kids either. So that's not a true and informed consent. Now, if you're a kid watching it, you need to read that insert. Please, please read the insert. If you're a parent watching this, the best thing you can do to arm your child is to tell them. Tell them everything. No parent, loving parent, would harm their child. And when people do this and they take their kids for vaccines, it's because they don't know. They really don't know. If no vaccine's ever been proved effective, which it hasn't, that in itself should tell you, why would you have aluminium, mercury that are toxic to the body? Aborted fetal cell lines that go on to cause cancer, they are immortalized. They don't stop dividing. Hamster, monkey, eagle, bat, dog, RNA, all in there. Mold, funguses, viruses, parasites. They don't work. So why would you put that in your body? Folks, get your kids and hold them close. You need to tell them what's going on, because there is a force out there that's trying to literally divide and conquer. Have a good day.